So I was whining to my wife the other day, said, I need new glasses. And she said, well, get some. I couldn't tighten them anymore. They were scratched. You know the thing, right? But I didn't want to go through the process because you have to make the appointment. You have to spend weeks to get them done. And you got to pay a fortune, right? That's real. But I did. I spent $500 on frames and glasses, and that was cheap. And then I ordered a pair from my sponsor, Zenni Optical, for $70. Zenni is an online eyewear shop. Prescription glasses, sunglasses, blue light lenses, starting at under $30. You go to Zenni.com, you pick a frame, upload your prescription, and they ship it to your door. No appointment, no store, no upsell at the counter. And by the way, if you are saying, do I really need new glasses, or do I have to put up with one pair to do everything I need to do for the next 2 years? No! You can get what you want starting at under $30. And if you've never bought glasses online, don't worry about it. I haven't either. Zenni has a virtual try-on so you can see exactly how the frame looks before you commit to buying them, with no salesman looking at you saying, those look good, but these expensive ones would look better. No, you don't get that. I'm excited. I can't wait to get my Zenni glasses and tell you more about them. If your glasses are overdue for a refresh, now's the time. Go to Zenni.com/podcast and use the code podcast15 for 15% off your first order. The styles sell out, so don't sit on it. That's Zenni.com/podcast. Promo code podcast15. You might have heard that live shopping is exploding, and I have to tell you, I have been on Whatnot for a couple of weeks now, and I see why it is. Now, Whatnot is my sponsor, and they are the reason I got on the platform and checked it out. I'm glad they did. They made it easy for me. I'm going to make it easy for you. I love it. Whatnot is where you get great products without paying full price. It's that simple. I'm hooked on their live shows, too. You got to see them. They're so much fun. And I see why Whatnot has climbed to the top of the App Store. And listen, if you're selling online, or maybe you have a storefront and you're hoping people will find your listing or maybe walk in your store, Whatnot flips that, because on Whatnot, you go live and you sell directly to people in real time. And I may admit, although you didn't hear from me, I may have picked up a couple of power tools or so in the past couple of days. I'm just saying. Whatnot, it's the largest dedicated live shopping platform with beauty, collectibles, electronics, luxury, fashion, even cookies, and anyone can sell. In fact, people who sell on Whatnot sell 10 times as much as any other major marketplace. That's because you're not just listing products, you're building real connections with buyers. So whether you're shopping or you're selling, download the Whatnot app today and get free shipping on your first order. Just search WHATNOT, Whatnot, in the App Store and start scoring amazing deals. How are you? Come on in. Good to have you here today. I cannot wait till Friday. I'm going to do something on Friday I have not done for years. I didn't even know I have not done it for years until somebody said, Scott, you haven't done it for years. So today's not Friday, but it's coming. Get ready. It's going to be awesome. But today, I'm going to take you down one path for your one life. Something that'll make things easier and simpler. And some of you will say, that's boring. But it's not. It's a great way to live. I know, because I do it. And I taught it this morning. I'm going to teach it to you right now, okay? It is the Daily Boost. I'm Scott Smith. Nice to have you here today. Yeah, I was on my call this morning. I do a couple of different group calls every single week, group coaching calls and a lot of individual calls. Kind of a busy week. Well, it's like 10 hours, not that much. And every now and then you pose a question. And it's kind of my job when I facilitate a call is I need to keep you a little bit unbalanced, just like these calls, these podcasts. If I give you the same thing every single day, you drift away. But if I keep you a little bit unbalanced and give you a little surprise, you're like, hey, it works. So today, that's what happened. And I always know it works really well. When I speak in public and I see people put their head down and take notes, I know I've hit a nerve. When I have you on a Zoom call and I'm talking to you directly and I ask you a question and I see your eyes kind of glaze over, and you start searching the area around you for the answer, I know I've hit something, particularly when it's somebody who is kind of impervious to that. And maybe you're like that too. I'm that way. I'm a coach, which means if you want to coach me, you better be good, because I know the tricks, and you coaches know what I'm talking about, right? When you're coaching somebody who's seasoned at what they do, it's hard to get through to them. But when I can break through to them, I said, yes, that was a good day. So you're going to get that today in a very simple way of thinking. So let me set the stage for you here. I don't know if you knew this. You have one life. Here today. I'm not going to go outside the boundaries of what happens afterwards or before or anything else, but we have one life on this planet. What is about 85 years, give or take, maybe. That's all you got. It goes really fast, faster than you think. It's shorter than you think. Get busy. Stop wasting time. And the older you get, the more you realize that. You got one life. But the thing about it, one is a magical number. See, we live in a time when multitasking is okay, it seems. Now, it's changed a bit. In the old days, multitasking was something that was impossible. Remember when computers first multitasked? Well, they never did, and they still don't. It's just a lot of singular tasks happening at the same time. Well, your mind doesn't do that all that well. But in the old days, when life was slower, we could multitask and it wasn't a big deal. In the days before text messaging, heck, I grew up in a time before pagers. In the days when we had party lines, and yes, my parents had a party line. I was very young, first, second grade probably. I mean, life is so simple back then, but these days it's crazy. We can do so many things and we're encouraged to do that. So I want to say this right off the bat. You can do more now than you ever thought possible. You can do more at the same time. You can do more in your life. You can have experiences that people in the past would have never had the ability to do. That's really good, and it's wearing us all out too. But no matter what happens, one thing is true. The closer you get down to one thing, the better off you're going to be. Now, I'm not going to go down the path of the one thing, the Gary Keller book, The One Thing. Not going to do that. But I'm going to go down a path of one thing you should focus on in your life. And the first thing I want to focus on is you. When I say you, I say your identity. Who you are. I asked the question of 5 people this morning. There were more. I only asked it to 5. And all 5 didn't have an answer. You're talking people that had been on a call with me for over a year and didn't know who they were. Their identity on the inside. Those old Western movies, they're in a saloon and somebody says something and there's fighting words there, partner. Step outside and let's do a duel. Well, that was an identity clash is what that was. So when you have one identity through your entire life, and by the way, you do. You can update it, you can grow it, you can change it a little bit, you can tweak it here or there, but fundamentally, you're the same person from the day you were born to the day you die. Just minor little changes along the way. That's the truth. That's proven. Well, I think some people change entirely, but that's a whole different category. But for most people, you're kind of the same person. I would even argue that a lot of y'all kind of go back to the person you used to be when you get older. So one identity your entire life, when you decide who you are, how you roll, how you walk your talk, what your values are, what your morals are, when you decide on that, you're happier. You are. If you're not happy, my guess is you don't know who you are and you don't know what you stand for. Another one. It's what you are in your life. Meaning, what are you doing? What are you building as part of this identity? Are you a family person? Is that your thing? Are you a business person? Are you a community person? Are you a life adventurer? What are you? And pretty much you're going to find that for the most part, from the time you're born to the time you die, this drive inside you to go off a certain direction is always there. This thing, you're kind of a product, right? It's like if you were on a shelf, what would you be? That's kind of what you are. In my case, for instance, since the day I was in high school, I have been in communications. Ask anybody in my high school and read my yearbook. It will tell you. Scott was going to talk for a living. Never stopped since. It's always one version or another. It's going to go till the day I die or my voice ends. So what's this one thing that you pursue every single day? This one thing that you are as you go that matches your identity? By the way, speaking of my identity, I like to think of myself as being podcast powered. If you're on Instagram, go to @FaceYourPassion, type in the word powered. I'm going to send you a training program how to build a podcast that you can live your life with, okay?
The new LinkedIn Hiring Pro can't undo your last hire. The empty seat. Who was actually just that, an empty chair in your office because you couldn't find someone to fill it. So it just sat there costing you money with all its fancy ergonomic features. But LinkedIn Hiring Pro can make it easy to fill that seat with the right candidate. With nearly 60% of businesses finding someone to interview in the first week alone. Hire right the first time with LinkedIn Hiring Pro. Post a free job today at linkedin.com/quality.
Okay, where was I? If we're stacking the ones, I want to know how you do what you do. So again, I want you to know who your identity is, and it's largely the same your whole life. I want you to know what this thing is that you do every single day. This, if you were on a shelf, what is it? If I had to go down to Kohl's and buy you, what would it be? Now, how do you do it? Because you can do my job any number of different ways. I tend to be kind of a freedom freak. I tend to want flexibility. I tend to want to be creative. I tend to want to be between the lines, but meander in and out of the lines. I don't always want to be perfect, but I don't always want to be crazy either. And I kind of do everything that way. It's a unique personality that I have that when I bring Scott to the table, that's who I am. If I leave Scott behind, it doesn't work as well. Some of you could argue that point, probably very vehemently, huh? How do you do it? How do you roll? So you have your identity, you know kind of who that product is that is you, and now you know what you do every single day to get it done. It's my way. Get over there. I'll take care of it for you. The other one is your energy. This was the one that blew people's mind when I asked it today. I said, what drives you? What drives all this stuff? When you get out of bed in the morning, what drives you? Now, I know right now talking to you, there's a huge number of people in this audience right now that have no idea why they get out of bed. They have no idea what drives them. Let me tell you what drives me. Really simple stuff. And if I don't have this, I don't get depressed. But I think about being depressed. Man, I should be down. But I don't get really down, not for very long. Here's what drives me. I'm driven by growth and possibility. That's it. If I can see that I'm growing a little bit, if I can see there's a possible, it's kind of like Dumb and Dumber. So there is a possibility, 1,000,001. But yeah, if I can see it's possible, I'm moving. That's what drives me. I can lay in bed in the morning on a very stressful week, a lot going on. We all sprint through stresses. We do that, right? And I would think, how am I going to get this done? How am I going to make this happen? I got deadlines. I got stuff going on. How am I going to do this? And I'll lay there for a few minutes and I'll come up with a little bit of idea. I go, oh, wait a second. And the very second I have a clue how to get there, boom, everything becomes possible. Growth becomes possible. I'm off and running. So what have I learned to do? I have learned over time that whenever I get stuck is to look for the possibility, look for the thing that will allow me to grow. Sometimes it takes a bit to get there. What drives you? Some people, it's the legacy they build. Some people, it's the community they serve. Some people, it's the money they make. It's a lot of different things. What drives you? I will challenge money often. A lot of people say, I just want to be a multimillionaire. And I said, no, you don't. As soon as you had $1 multi-million, you'd go on a cruise. You'd go goof off. You don't want to be a multimillionaire. You just want the money. I challenge it. Some people are chasing to be cruising and just travel all the time and do all that, but they complain about being broke. They're all about money. Which one drives you? Because I'm not a money-driven guy. And God, I wish I were sometimes. I am not. As long as I can get what I need, get what I want, have my plans taken care of, and I don't have big needs, not like I need to go buy Ferraris and stuff like that, I'm a pretty happy camper. But if I want to go spend a couple $1,000s on something, I want to be able to do it. Not money-driven. Just want to make sure, happy. Got what I need. What drives you? And finally, like I said, you got one life. That's all we got. You're all trying so many things. I try that. I'm going to try this. And that's okay. I want you to explore the possibilities. Try little things. But as you figure out what works, be smart. Lock it in. Don't keep changing. Just lock it in and just keep doing it. You're doing it already right now. You know you are. You're doing it in your life. You're doing it in your business. You're doing it in relationships. You find something that works and you keep doing it. Lock it in, lock it in, lock it in, lock it in. Just keep it there. So what do you do when you get bored? Well, keep it locked in. But now it should be so efficient, running on autopilot. You know who you are. You know your product. You know your method. You know what drives you, and it's locked in. And now you can do whatever you want to do. Some people call that an encore career. Part 2. All right, different way of thinking today about one thing. I did mention my life has been driven by this podcast. I have a podcast-powered life. I've done this now for 20 years and in well over 5,000 episodes these days, just of Daily Boost. Built an entire business around it, and I coach people every day to figure out their life, make money so they can live the life they want to, and to do it forever. And in many cases, we start with a podcast or a YouTube channel, stuff like that I know how to do. So if you'd like to know my philosophy and how I actually do it, won't cost you a darn dime, Just go to Instagram at Face Your Passion. Type in the word powered. I'm going to give you a training video. I don't think there's no place to opt in. Yeah, there is. You actually go to podcastpoweredbusiness.com and opt in for it as well. It's a good training. Not trying to sell you anything, but if you are interested, let me know. I can help you build what you want to build. All right, have a good day. I'm going to see you tomorrow.